Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And how is everybody doing out there? The amateur otaku is back. And we're talking anime, guys. And we're talking about it live. And we're talking about a particular anime that just had a stellar third season. It just wrapped up. Just so you know, the dub hasn't caught up yet. But it doesn't matter. The season's over. We saw the sub because we couldn't wait for dubs to come out because we needed to talk about Demon Slayer, the Swordsmith Village arc. And that is what we're doing today here live on the Amateur Otaku Podcast. If you love what we do here, click on the like button, subscribe, click on the bell icon. Make sure you don't miss any single episode of the Amateur Otaku Podcast. We are talking the Swordsmith Village arc of Demon Slayer, start to finish. We are talking spoilers. We are talking every single nook and cranny of this show, season 3 arc. So, Jamie, you excited? Because I am. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, it felt like a long time coming for some reason with this season, but I was happy to finally have seen it all, and I got put through some different kind of emotions here as we got towards the end. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Isaac, you
Yeah.
excited to talk about this?
I told you there was a reason why I wouldn't hate on a certain person in this arc.
Wait, what?
During our
I have no idea what's going on whatsoever. What?
in our upcoming shows live stream. You asked me, will you hate on Zenitsu as much as before? And I said, no, I won't. And why did I do that? Because there barely was any. Woohoo!
I'm kind of sad that Zenitsu was there and Inosuke wasn't. But then I thought about it. I'm like, Inosuke usually doesn't have important things to say. Sorry, I do love Inosuke, but he usually doesn't have important things to say. So I'm like, I kind of get it. I kind
I
of
love
understand.
I love how you went like, oh Nosuke, we missed you. Like, but you're just comedic relief. Bye,
I mean,
you
he kinda
boy.
is.
he's had his moments, but
No,
few
he's
and
awesome.
far in between.
He's like the Goku of the bunch. Like he comes
Yeah,
up with
I
the
feel like even
craziest.
dumber than Goku.
Okay, that's fair. He's the Yamcha. So, but he's I got to give it to y'all. You're not wrong. It's
Right.
funny. Like the only useful thing he could do was bust into Tanjiro's room when he woke up in a coma. That's why we
Yeah.
don't. That's why we don't see him again for
Just
the
hanging on the
rest of the
ceiling.
arc.
See, and that's why, I love him for that. It's just like when it comes to Tanjiro flashing back, trying to find something important that he can use, I can see why
His
Inosuke
mind
was not in that. I can see why he was not included.
is like he wasn't my first choice.
Right.
Yes, yes, agreed.
But
So
yes.
even though, so how do you? So let me turn this around before we start talking about Demon Slayer. Isaac,
Yeah.
so that the one moment where Zenitsu was front and center, he was the most valuable person that Tanjiro could have think of. He was able to
Yeah.
change with that information. Zenitsu changed the tide of the battle. Do you still hate him?
Overall, yes. But yes, that wasn't a bad scene for him. But then
What's
again,
up? What's up, AJ?
Hey,
he
AJ.
was had just some just eating and had a regular conversation. So of course he wouldn't just scream and be
Well, he
all.
doesn't all well, first season he did. But like as we progressed, he's become a normal human being.
Jamie,
He
Jamie,
talks.
I think it's fair to say that he's a little bitch unless he's sleeping.
Uh,
Which
I mean, he's a lot better when he's sleeping, I will admit. But I don't know. I feel like we've seen some growth. We've seen some growth.
Growth, sure.
I want to
I
think that
still don't like
I
him.
want to think that I think we need to see the next season, see how much growth he's had. Now, Isaac, I got one more question because you taking the time to AJ
No.
putting his foot
Oh,
down. AJ
fuck, you know.
foot down. Isaac with it. So I'm gonna ask you a question for the sake of our
AJ, do you
listeners.
want a link to come in and the debate about why the Knicks is the way
That's
it is?
not the point of
We're
this
selling
stream.
tickets. The Zenitsu debate is.
The point of this stream is to talk about an arc that Zenitsu's not in the center of. So no, this is not the place to debate. So we're gonna close this chapter on your hatred with this one question: who do you hate more, Zenitsu or Kashan? From My Hero, who do you hate more?
I don't. Oh, that's a hard question.
Come on now. See, but this is the answer that everybody wants, right, AJ? This is the answer you need right now, right? That's how we're gonna finish this argument. Who do you hate more, Bakugo or Zenitsu? Damn, Leo coming from left field.
Uh-oh.
Coming
out the woodwork.
As much as I can't stand.
Please, guys, please, chat. Do not derail my boy here. We're trying to talk Demon Slayer. Isaac, who do you hate more, Bakugo or Zenitsu?
As much as I dislike Zenitsu, I can at least he can have normal conversation when they are just having normal conversation. Bakugo is Bakugo, and he's angry all the time, and he pisses me off.
In other words, now, can we let Zenitsu rest a little bit and talk about this show? Since you don't hate him, okay. Thank you, chat, for sharing your love for Zenitsu. I'm of the mind of whenever he's active in a battle, he's cool, but I don't care. He's, I have a very weird relationship with Demon Slayer. I think this is a good moment for me to share this. I don't hate the show. I thoroughly enjoy it. When I watch it, I'm in the show. But I don't know. Demon Slayer doesn't do a lot for me. I think I think the things that Demon Slayer does for me as a show have to do more with the directing and the approach that UFO Table and the other companies. I think Aniplex is another company that's working.
Yeah.
Right. Is the production approach that they're working on, the level. Yes. I mean, I got to find a way to really him back in, AJ. I come with divisiveness. That's why I'm wearing my Oscar shirt. But I like it more from a production standpoint, from a technical standpoint, and the action. But the story kind of lost a lot of its weight for me as it progresses. Because to a degree, it feels cyclical. Like we're seeing the same thing over and over again. You're just seeing that. Yeah. I mean, I do like it, the idea as this tale of trauma and shared trauma and how people with the same trauma are joined together by what they've been through to make the world better as opposed to making it worse. So I do like that angle and I do like the characters, but it's not like I don't feel it doesn't do that more for me. That being said, again, UFO Table, Aniplex doing what they do best. It's a great season. It's a great season. A great new little corner of the Demon Slayer world was explored. I like the characters. I like the action. And can't wait to talk about it. Had a lot of fun binging it up to this point. I watched the finale earlier today, and it was fun. And a nice little surprise to it at the end because I haven't read the book. I know you've read it, Isaac. I think you have the complete series. Yeah. So I'm going to leave you for the end. Jamie, you are an anime only fan just like me. You've been watching it. You finished it. Thoughts? Just general thoughts until we go and break it apart.
Yeah. So this might come as a surprise to some people, but I think that this season started strong and then it slowly kind of started falling off as we kept going on. Maybe after like the third or fourth episode, I just like my hype kind of started dying like bit by bit by bit. And I don't think it's because like Demon Slayer the story became bad or like the animation became bad, quite the opposite with the animation in fact. But
Yes.
I think it's just the fact that we did kind of a lot of waiting to get to some of these fights, and then some of the demons like it was like they were done in an instant. Like Hatred, which was like built up to be this like Megatron super crazy demon combination of like all these other emotions, which
Kill
I'm like, oh,
Prime.
that's it. Right, like it was supposed to be like something epic, and then we don't even really get to see him do anything, and he dies. He gets Thanos snapped, and he doesn't even say anything about it. He's just like, "Oh, well, that's it." And like, bro, and then Tanjiro, uh, fighting Hatengu, it was like cat and mouse. Like, just see like who can outrun who, and Tanjiro won at the end of it. And I'm like, compared to season 2, we got to see a ton of fights and like grit and of course, Tandro dug deep in this season like he did in season 2, but I feel like it was more rewarding in season 2 because he really got beat down. Freaking the Hashira that he was with got his arm cut off. So to see like the reverse kind of happen with this season, I was like a little bit disappointed. And it's crazy for me because like I'm usually not watching an anime solely for the fights. Like I do enjoy watching the fighting and like the animation and the sakuga and all of that, but really I'm there for the story. Demon Slayer, it's kind of a little bit different because like you were saying, Brandon, and like AJ was saying in the chat,
Yeah, that
like
was a
Demon
great point.
Slayer,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. That was a great point that AJ put on there. AJ says on the chat, Demon Slayer doesn't go hard on philosophical point of view. Through and through, it is a pure shonen that keeps the story simple and the action perfection. And I
right.
100% agree.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that as well. And I think like Demon Slayer for me hit the perfect mix of at least like giving that baseline story and kind of giving me some attachment to the characters, and then just kind of like giving that personality continues like go through as far as like the action and the way they choose to fight, like Kanroji having like the kind of like baton sword is I think is sick, and I wish I would have got to see more of it, but at least we saw the little bits that we did. So yeah, this season I still think it was good overall. One I still think is season 1 I still think is probably the weakest season just because it took, at least for me, a little while for me to actually
Yeah.
start to connect with these characters. But as far as like my hype and continuing to be excited week by week, I definitely started to feel myself not getting like disinterested, but I'm like, oh, okay, we're probably gonna watch like more talking, or I don't know. So Tandro broke his foot. Owie. He'll probably be limping next episode. Like I don't know. Like I was kind of just waiting for the
That is the
end.
greatest
Like,
burn I've ever heard in my life. Oh, he broke his foot. Owie.
but yeah, this season was definitely still good, but I don't think it got to the high that season 2 got for me.
Okay. Isaac, your thoughts on this season?
Well, to some extent, this is my favorite arc in the entire manga, and a big part is the lack of. Well, there is a reason why my handle is the way it is, and what?
Go on.
And it does help that we have Mami Mitsuri here, who is as strong as she is adorable. I mean, come on. She
And some gravity defying boobs, I must say. The fact that she never had one nip slip, I
The
gotta talk to.
quintessential anime boobs.
That's what I'm
The
saying. I
right
gotta
amount of
talk to
cleavage,
whoever made
no
her
nipple, and
her outfit. I need to figure that out.
well, I just mean her interaction
there's like a
with
chakra thing going on. They're just
Just hold them together.
but I mean her interaction with Nezuko, for example, is just kind of adorable.
Yeah.
bro. Can we talk about just
And I
like
wasn't finished.
this never gets old? Like
Oh, that's so cute.
it never gets old. Small
No.
Nezuko damn it, it never gets old. See, I
No.
gotta
See,
say,
And one of the reasons why this is in a somewhat of a serious.
damn it, AJ, damn it.
yep, they're out there. They're out there.
But one of.
She's trying to catch herself a man, I suppose. Utilizing her assets.
That's literally her mission in life.
right.
Is to find. See, at least it's an anime character that knows why she is the way
Right.
she is and dresses the way she dresses, because she doesn't dress this way in the flashbacks. She does not.
No.
True. Yeah.
You know, she's like taking that
And
song.
I wish we could have got more of that.
Every
Oh my
moment.
gosh. Oh,
What?
it's just like
What'd you say?
I wish we could have got more of her backstory because literally Tokito, his backstory went from like 4 to 5
2
episodes.
episodes. Yes.
Mitsuru, hers was like an episode, and I was like, okay, we're fighting. You're like, what the hell?
But
Uh,
but like
What? So the most so we get 5 minutes to find out who the hell gave her socks.
right.
can't
Like,
But yeah, and it was actually kind of refreshing to see that we have an Hashira that haven't a bad or sad upbringing, if you really think about it.
true. Yeah.
He's the only Hashira that haven't really had. I mean, let's not forget the Mother Days episode. Yeah, that they had where I can't recall what the angry man's he and his brother their name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tokito and it was
Yuichiro and
Yuichiro
Juichiro?
Juichiro.
Yeah, that episode was airing on Mother's Day, which is just
Yeah.
But anyway, and
Like Japan going, fuck you and your holidays.
kind of. But one of the biggest thing that this is
So bad.
my favorite arc is actually at the end with this with a fight where the Tanjiro has question of how what am I going to do if I leave Nezuko alone? She's going to burn down
Yeah.
by the sun or
Best part of the season.
By the way, spoilers. It's like it's on the ban.
I was gonna say, and or if he runs and kills that monster, Nezuko. He was a rock in a hard place kind of deal.
Yeah. He couldn't decide.
Or if he was in a fork kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see that, and when you see her just surviving the sun and just, it was just. I remember when I read this at the I read that part for the first time, and I just oh no, she's not gonna make it. That ballsy. I remember when I read it for the first time. And also, can we admit the one that make the voice for the fish demon? That voice actor must have had a hell of a lot of fun when in the recording booth.
You mean they made the voice of Gyoku?
Yeah. He must have had a lot of fun in the recording booth. He ate up every voice line.
So I'm kind of curious, Isaac, since you were talking about like this being your favorite arc in the manga, like how does that kind of compare to this season? Do you feel like they did justice, or what's your opinion there? Okay.
I think it.
I think we had the conversation before, Isaac, and you mentioned that UFO Table late pretty much have been very, very, very faithful to the book, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh man.
agreed. I agreed.
Yep.
I was like on the verge of tears in that scene in the final episode. Yeah, that was probably my favorite episode of the season. It was insane. It was insane to because like part of me was like, oh, Nezuko's not gonna die. And then they start doing all the flashbacks, and I was like, no, no, no. I'm like, don't do the flashbacks, don't do the flashbacks. And then
Oh,
to see
Damn
she
it!
survived after that, I was like, what? I was like, oh, thank God.
See,
and
I want
also,
to say that it moved me as much,
yeah,
but it didn't move me as much as it's just that they've been in so many near death experiences that if it happened, I kind of wanted it to happen and just land. You know what I
oh,
mean? Like
Mm,
not that I wanted Nezuko dead, because I mean, who in the world does
we have
not
to protect
want
her at all costs.
her to survive?
yeah,
Right.
We will protect her forever.
Plus,
and
it's
Um,
like when you think
Tanjiro,
about it. Oh, go ahead,
go
Isaac.
on, go on, go on.
I was just gonna say when you think about it, like Nezuko is Tanjiro's whole reason for even like going on this adventure in the first
yeah.
place. So if she did die, like, is the show over? Like, what happens
Well,
after that?
yeah, but also I think the strongest part, and here's the little pieces of great storytelling that the author does and that
Mhm.
I love, is that we understand for the, I don't know, like 30 episodes, 35 episodes that we have of Demon Slayer. We know for a fact that well, more like 40, that Tanjiro's main motivation to be the best Demon Slayer he can is his sister, is trying to find a cure for her.
Right.
But the idea that at the same time, throughout this journey, even though she acts like a child, she understands that she has a part to play to defend humans, to defend people that are weak, that cannot defend themselves. And
Right.
the idea that her final act could have been, I understand what you're trying to do, Tanjiro, but we have a job to do. We can't be selfish about why we do the job.
Yeah.
We have to think about everybody else. We like, I don't want to be saved if it means that you're letting people die. And the
Mhm.
idea that that's the reason why he chose to listen to her and save those people from the upper fourth, to me that is great dramatic storytelling. Like whether
Mhm.
she live or dies, it that moment was powerful and to
Right.
me was great. And if she died, it would have shifted Chandra as a character to a completely different direction,
Yeah.
but it would still have the weight of what she did. Like she did it for him. But I do also like the alternative, which is what the author did, is that he linked her survival to the Muzan storyline, where
Yeah.
now
And
Muzan is moving forward, which I like it because for the longest time he's been not active. Like he's just been in the
Yeah.
background trying to not get involved and just minding his business. And the fact that this is the moment that now he's paying attention to who
and
Tanjiro is, to the
and of
main
Mhm.
characters, that to me was a nice storytelling device. So I enjoyed that. That
and
is
of
Yeah.
one of the best ways of showing in storytelling. Like this is how you do a story turn. You know, like this is where you do a turn. Like a character's something in a character changes. This is how it impacts the story, and this is how it impacts every other character in the story, and the characters and it does impact the most important characters because it doesn't matter how the other demon slayers reacted to the fact that Nezuko didn't burn up. It only matters how Nezuko reacted and how Muzan reacted. That's really the two reactions that mattered, and to me, that was glorious.
yeah,
Are you gonna say something, Isaac?
and of course, internet is getting all thirsty of muscle moose, and after that, episode. No, I'm not kidding. There is some memes about the internet reacting like that.
He
I mean,
was, I mean, you know,
I mean,
Luzon. He
I
was
mean,
looking extra good in that last episode.
I mean, people call Ganondorf daddy when they revealed his quote unquote human form for Tears of the Kingdom. So
This is true. I am people. I don't do it all the time, but like sometimes it's like, oh, there's Daddy Ganon over there.
The true self set you free.
also, the reaction from Mitsuru when she realized what happened to Nezuko is just downright hysterical. I'm
Yeah, that was
sorry, but
funny. It definitely, as far as like, cause you know, Nezuko definitely had like the biggest impact on the season, not just in that episode, but just like the way that like things are now shifting towards like this story between Muzan and Nezuko for the next season, possibly the final season, which is like tier. But I'm kind of curious because what is her name? Let me see. The lady that's supposed to be helping find the antidote. Does anybody remember her name? The demon
Lady Tsukasa, is it? No. So yeah,
not
it
sure.
was Sue something. I can find it. Keep talking your point. I'll find the name.
But yeah, the lady, the Doctor Demon lady, she was talking about how she was using Nezuko's blood to make
Lady Tamayo.
Tamayo, yeah, to make somewhat of a cure for people that had been turned into demons. And like we see that the guy who was transformed into a demon, and I think it was season 1 by Muzan, he is now like pretty much back to his normal self. I don't know if he's like fully human, but he's at least like
No,
cognitive.
she makes a point. So what she talks about in there, I think that's a good point. I don't want to interrupt you. I want to keep going. But what it does is that the experiments that Lady Tamaya has been able to perform with Nezuko's blood and how it's been evolving, he was able. So you have the illness that makes you a demon,
Right.
and then part of that illness makes you obey and connect 100% to Muzan at all times. So Nezuko's blood and the experiments Tamaya was able to do were able to release Muzan's control of him.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's no longer controlled or influenced by Muzan to just eat flesh and become a monster. And he's still a demon, but he can live on short amounts of blood that Lady Tamaya provides, as opposed to be killing humans like a monster.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
with those thoughts in mind, I was kind of thinking because she was saying like, you know, I don't really know why Nezuko acts in like this childlike manner instead of acting like her normal self. And part of me was thinking like, could the hypnotism that Tanjiro's master did while they were up in the mountain could have been that powerful to the point where like her only thoughts are like hang out with bro and like save people? Like it was the hypnotism
Hang
that
out with bro.
powerful, or does it have to be? Is it that Muzan's kind of like control of her, although not successful, maybe it's influencing her in some way where most of her mind has to focus on just fighting that off, and so that's why like a lot of her interactions are very primitive, where it's like, oh, either I love you or I care about you, or no, we have to fight. So I'm kind of wondering about that, and if we'll ever get to hear like we did get to hear her speak for like the first time in forever, but will we ever get to hear her complete a sentence? That's my question. Will we get to hear Nezuko talk about all of her experiences? Because I want to know what it's like to be inside that dark box while Tanjiro is fighting and she's just like tumbling around. I want to hear
Well,
her,
she's sleeping though.
experience. Is she sleeping in that condition? Or is she knocked out? That's the real question.
He's supposed to sleep there during the day, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely love to hear like just Nezuko's perspective on this whole journey, especially hearing about Zenitsu, because you know Zenitsu's he's shooting his shot with Nezuko, and I don't know if she understands what's going on.
I don't.
Oh my!
It reminds me of Shamik more. Yeah. I think that's one of those. See, that's one of the reasons why I still watch, like because those little mysteries are still interesting, and you don't see a lot of them. Um, but it's like one of the things that I've noticed in that it's not a gripe, it's an understanding of what they're offering me in this show. Is the idea that the reason there's so much action and it's amazing,
Mm.
right? It's That's why there's not a lot of story, but the little bits of story that they're doing are actually pretty great. AJ Fernand in the chat says, "Well, remember that Musan Control was slowly losing day by day due to her blood, so the hypnotism was part of that, but not the whole." Okay, so the way that she's developed her power, she's become a demon in her own right because
Yeah.
she can use blood arts and stuff like that.
Demon 2.0.
Yeah, can we talk about the I love this. I love the imagery of everybody's jaw dropping when Nezuko's muscle fell off. That's literally like the imagery of because everybody went like she was still there. That was actually a very powerful moment. I think that whole process, and I think the willpower of her, it's great. It's like one of those things. Like a lot of people, even people that have severe illnesses, a lot of people survive out of sheer willpower, or
Yeah.
hang on out of sheer willpower. And there has to be some of that in Nezuko's survival,
Hmm.
which is why it was so dramatic and so powerful and so interesting.
Yeah, there's
So
stuff. There's stuff in the next art that could explain a bit more of why that happened. Laughing in the manga, but I digress.
So let's talk a little bit about the character. So we talked a little bit about Miss Kanjuri already and how awesome she was. Thank you, baby. How awesome I got treated to life.
Nice.
How amazing. My girlfriend is beautiful and amazing. Um I we talked a little bit about Miss Kanjuro and this guy's backstory. Like
Mhm.
everybody's backstory. Here's the one thing that I think is powerful is that they do a great job in always reiterating how big of a threat demons are.
Right.
Like there's really not much. No, there's no real gray lines. Like you can say that there's a gray line with Lady Tamayo or a gray line with whatever, but that's not really a gray line. They're really deciding to not harm humans. They are
Mhm.
not harming humans. Period. So I like how it's very clear and direct, and how every of the main characters in one way, shape, or form have a trauma that they're dealing with. But this guy, Muichiro's backstory. Damn, damn, that hurt. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It was oh, go ahead, Isaac.
I was just gonna say there is a reason why I said that Mitsuru is, at least so far, is the only one that with a relatively positive upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked her backstory because of that as well. But before we get there, just talking about like Muichiro and oh, it was just sad. It was just sad, like his mom is dying, so his dad tries to go out to find this flower that he believes is going to be the cure and ends up slipping and falling. And so he doesn't make it back to the mom, so then the mom also dies. So they lose both their parents on the same day, and they're kind of like off on their own. I will say, so the Muichiro and Juichiro thing was kind of confusing me for a little bit because one, they look so similar. And so I was like, is it supposed to be that he actually was his brother and now he's
Like a
like,
split personality or
yeah, I'm
something.
like, is it really, didn't he never have
Yeah,
a
I had
sibling or
vibes. There were
what was
vibes there.
going on?
Yes.
But no,
Yes.
there were two different people. It was Muichiro,
Yes.
Juichiro. And it was kind of interesting that he embodied his older brother when he kind of, I guess, lost his sense of self. And so he kind of just defaulted to his older brother, I guess, as a more kind of a way to protect
Like a
himself from
self-defense
getting hurt.
mechanism.
Yeah, self-defense
Yeah.
mechanism. So he won't like get the receive that pain that he had gotten as a child. It was interesting to see that, and I'm kind of glad that he got to I guess like make peace with his brother when he was fighting against Gyoko and trying to save like Kotetsu and Mr. Haganezuka.
Haganeska. Yeah.
I always mess up with his name. It's just like so much.
That guy is hilarious.
He is. He is. I was like, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I was just impressed with the fact that like he is just the guy that shows up with a sword whenever Tanjiro breaks his sword, and then going to the Swordsmith village. Like he becomes this guy that is really committed to this art and is really passionate about making swords. So much so to the point where like while Muichiro is fighting Gyoko, like he is just like grinding away at the short sword, like sharpening it up for Tanjiro, and not even paying attention to this demon, like slashing him. I don't know if he like blinded one of his eyes or like cut one of his eyes, but like he was doing all sorts of stuff to him, and he just like did not stop because he wants to make Tanjiro a sword that hopefully won't break as quickly. So I don't know. I was really impressed with that as well. Just kind of like tying in these characters that we've seen, but we didn't even really know their story. And to be honest, we still don't know a whole lot about Haganezuka, but we know like at least that he's committed to this and that he does care about Tanjiro and sword making and all this stuff. And he was really literally willing to risk it all to make this sword.
Yeah. Isaac, Muichiro, thoughts?
Well, as I said, to talk about the sad backstory, it's and just for reference, they are supposed to be twins. Those two. That's why they looks alike. Even if I can agree that it kind of when he becomes an Hashirate, sort of like almost a Moon Knight situation for him.
Yeah,
it feels that way. Yeah,
it kind of like that, and how should I put it? I don't know if, and it was just nice to see for someone that he got help finding himself again.
Mhm.
And I just realized that I was a ass to that kid, but the kid is helping me still, and remember what Tanjiro said and all that jazz, and yes, sure, it's pure shonen jump trope kind of deal, but it's a trope that I actually enjoy.
Yeah, like there's a lot of character growth because of the effect that everybody had on him and everything he did and all that. So yeah, I like this cat. What was that?
I was just gonna say, and to be fair, like that does happen with some people in real life where it's just like they don't understand what an act of kindness can do for somebody until like they receive that act. Although like hearing those stories, it always does sound like a little bit corny. So I will give you that. But it's true, it does happen for some people.
Yeah, and I like see, and this is the cool thing about the setting of the stage, right? Because what makes those very simple, corny life lessons hit hard is because the characters that learn them within extreme situations. Like it's not like, oh no, he has to go back to the grocery store. No, he's about to drown in a water vase. Like you either learn or you like.
Yep, sink or swim, literally.
Yep. So I do like those are the little things of storytelling that I do enjoy, and the story for this guy was cool. The effects, the animation for his abilities. I gotta say that's something that's always been very, very, very dramatically beautiful and artistic that I've really enjoyed of the UFO table animation team is that every Hashira ability has their own particular animation and style to it. Is there? Do you see a little bit of that in the manga, Isaac, or does it all just look like power ups?
Can you elaborate on what you mean?
Like you know how the mist breathing looks very distinctive. Thunder breathing looks very distinctive. Water breathing looks very distinctive. That's what I mean. Like in the anime, everything looks very distinctive. Does the mangaka make it very distinctive in the book as well?
Yeah, from what I can remember, yes.
Okay.
Mm.
It
Because I
was a
do
while
know.
it was a while since I read this arc. So
Okay.
Oh, you
But
know
yeah,
what I was kind of surprised about is the fact that like I thought that Tandro's like scar and when it like turns to the flames, I thought that was kind of something like distinctive to him. But then I see that like Muichiro has it when he awakens and he has like the mist on the sides of his mouth. And then Kanroji has I forget remember what she has, but I think it's like on her neck, like some kind
it's
of
like a
symbol on her
heart
neck.
or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
was
get-
kind of I was kind of shocked. Like I didn't know how to feel about it because I was like, oh, I thought that was like a chosen one thing. That's like
It's like a
I'm
Super
powering
Saiyan
up.
thing.
Yeah, like I'm a
Like,
power
yeah,
up thing.
you get knowledge about that in the
thank you for that,
Luffy.
AJ. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
AJ.
Thank
So
you. Thank
we get more information of that coming. Like that's something that they will dive into.
Yes. So it knows not something, not some random power up.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
I want to know more about that and the original Sun Breather dude because it seemed like that's who we were going to kind of focus on at the beginning of the season, and then it was just like, nope, we're just fighting demons now. And I was like, wait, what happened? I
That dude.
nearly forgot until the last episode. I'm like, oh yeah, we saw this guy. Where is he?
Well, I got a feeling that the sword we found in the dummy belonged to him.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's why that sword is so important. And the idea that that sword was so powerful only with um its first polish.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is going to be the master sword that Tanjiro is going to be wielding for the rest of the story. But here's the thing, though: if this is the master sword, that means that we're not far off. Like there's another what 3 arcs, Isaac?
2 or 3 arcs. I can't. There's a training arc and next next season where they essentially train because now they
They gotta
know
bring
that
the boys back together.
and now shit gets real kind of deal. And
Right.
AJ, if you're still in the chat, is the castle arc the last arc, or is they are counting it as a specific arc before the end?
In my understanding, in the little things that I've seen in videos, the Infinity Castle arc, which I think is the one where it's the second to last arc,
Okay.
I think.
I've been hearing
But I don't know because I haven't read it.
2 more arcs. Oh yeah, because I've been talking with people about this, or just
2
about
more
like Demon
arcs.
Slayer in general, and I'm like, I don't know like how much longer it can go. Because in my head, I'm thinking about like how I would play this out, and it's like clearly the way they're structuring this, like you want to take out the rest of the upper rank demons or the upper moon demons, and then you fight Muzan at the end. So to do all of that in one season, I'm like, maybe you could do it if it's a 24 episode season. Either that or like 12 episode and you have like the fattest anime movie ever created. I don't know. But I don't know how they would do it. I honestly don't know. But a lot of people have been saying one season, so I guess we'll see. Anime training arc is the shortest. Maybe that's why. So I don't know.
Well, and you figure we only have 3 upper moon demons left.
Right.
And then Musan.
Right. And if
Because
they kind of do like another like send out another 2 demons and then they fight them for like half the season and then moves on, I guess I could kind of see that.
Yeah. Now,
and one of the upper demons that are left is just it's almost more creep than Moose than arguably.
now we got to talk about this guy. Genya was cool. I kind of dig Genya, and the idea that he eats demons to get stronger. That's pretty far.
See,
That is
that's another thing where I'm like, this season, I could have had some more episodes. I wouldn't have complained because, like, I feel like we didn't dive deep enough into Mitsuru's story. I feel like we didn't dive like at all into. Well, we did dive into Genya's story, but
but not his abilities.
not why he suddenly has demon
Like,
powers
yeah,
or like
like,
uses a
like
gun. Like we didn't talk about that at all.
see, for a minute there, I thought he became a demon, but
Yeah, I
then,
did
in my
too.
understanding, Muzan is the only one that can create demons. Is that the whole thing?
I think so.
It's sort of like
None of the upper arcs
they.
can do it, right?
It's. Do you recall in the previous season that you see someone going meeting up the brother and sister before they becomes demon, and he's just chewing on human legs, and he said, "Let us see
Yeah,
if he
that's
accept you." Sort of like they can sort of like
Oh,
give them a try and make them, but it's Musa that accepts them or not.
so it's kind of like a recommendation thing. Like here, I'll recommend you to Muzan and see if you get in or if you die. We'll
Kinda.
see.
Muzan gets an email and goes like, "No, he has a bad credit score. No," and then
Like, not this guy.
that's hilarious. No, but Genya was fire. Like the idea
Yeah.
that he had those, like similar to Nezuko, that she has the fire red tips in her hair.
Mhm.
He gets those weird yellow tips. His
Yep.
eyes go black, and you're like, hot. And then like we saw him die like 5 times.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, how did he even learn how to do this? Or is he part demon? Or like, what is the
Oh,
story there?
AJ dropping like, hmm,
Spoilers, upper demons
Oh,
can create
then I
higher
miss
demons.
remembering stuff.
I
I
gotta I
could
gotta I gotta find this out. I gotta find.
I could have swore that the that he said that let's see if he accepts you in the manga, and I assume it was sort of like a he could just
I kind of like the whole email rejecting thing. I dig
Yep.
it.
Like we got a new candidate. What do you think? Nope, not him.
You've killed the last 80. And it's like,
Like bring
so,
better candidates. Duh.
so hopefully in the next couple of arcs we see more of Genya,
Yeah.
more of Kanjuri. But the thing is, if we only have like 2 more arcs, more or less, then in reality we only have enough time to meet the other Hashira, which I think
Right.
there's what, like
Oh, I didn't even think
4 or
about that.
5 more that we haven't really spent time with.
All right. And see,
So,
this is the other thing which we talked about.
what'd you say?
the manga is about it's 205 chapters long, so
No, but how many Hashiras do we have left?
we
To
have
meet.
the Earth Hashira, we have the asshole that tried to prove that Nezuko would attack humans, and
Oh, is that Genya's brother?
yes, it's Genya's brothers, and we are getting more involved with the snake Hashira.
Oh yeah, the guy that gave Karoji the socks.
Yes.
That was his introduction. But yeah,
I mean, I
that's
would
that.
like to know. I would like to know what motivated her to join the Demon Slayer Corps and how she got in. But no, we got to find out who gave her socks.
I feel like they kind of touched upon that, but they definitely could have dove a lot deeper into it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I feel like is unfortunate about Demon Slayer is like I enjoy Zenitsu and Inosuke, but I don't know anything about them pretty much. And I feel like Genya is probably gonna fall victim to this like little to no backstory. Even I mean, he got more than Inosuke and Inosuke with the actual flashbacks. But outside of that, we probably will never know why he uses this eating demon technique or where he got it from.
So how do you become strong? I eat demons. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a healthy regimen.
It's like, where'd you learn that? I eat demons.
I don't know why, but I read that comment from AJ about the next arc just being about the other hostages. Like, hey guys, we're gonna wrap up all this story in these little episodes because we got to wrap this up. Like,
Yep. Yep.
um, but hey, man, if they keep doing the animation they're doing, I think it works. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Honestly,
yeah,
I could see the training arc being a movie and the Infinity Castle being the next season. Honestly,
So if
see
they did the training arc as a movie, like what is their big
movie.
finale? You know?
graduation.
Just go to a graduation ceremony. That's
Yeah.
it.
That would be a
Like popping beers.
Mm.
Yeah.
that would be a massive spoiler if I said that, so I can't mention that.
I'm just putting the question out there. I'm not saying give any spoilers or anything, but I'm just like, if the training arc was the movie, I'm like, I don't know how they would do like the big bombastic like finale with
where.
all the yeah. So I don't know.
It would be a bombastic ending for that movie.
Okay.
So here's the thing that I want to keep saying, and for some reason, it's the same thing that I talk all the time, Isaac, when we talk about Demon Slayer. Is I consistently enjoy and love how UFO tables presentation and organization of Demon Slayer has been so great and so unique. Because the first season is how many episodes? Let's see. Like,
I think it's 26. I think I looked it up like a couple days ago. I think it's like 26.
yeah, so it's a full season, but then they
Mhm.
decided to say, hey, we're not going to do things like everybody else anymore. We're not going to do it by seasons, because you got to figure they're not doing it by seasons anymore. They're going to do it by arcs. They did an arc as a movie, then they made the mistake of making
pretty much.
Across the Spider. Ooh, wait.
From
that
what
looks
I've
really
heard.
good.
I haven't seen it because
Okay. Thank God you said that. Okay.
I'm a horrible fan.
It would be an Empire
see it.
Strikes Back ending. Let's just put it like that.
That doesn't help because you're kind of spoiling Cross Spider-Verse, I think, at this point.
I
by
haven't
saying
seen
that
Across the Spider-Verse. I'm just saying.
I'm still gonna blame you for it because that's what you do.
Shut up.
I'll be on his mind now.
It's always like Georgia. So I like the idea that after the first season they went, you know what? Let's do this differently. Let's do it by arcs. So every season is an arc, whether it's longer or shorter. They choose the length of episodes and they play around with that organization. I think personally, a lot more shows should take cues of Demon Slayer, of UFO Table, in that type of presentation.
Yeah.
Because I think it makes everything so much more accessible for any viewer. Because it's not like we're watching a season and we have no idea if an arc is going to start or end within that season. Like we start watching, like old fashioned. Like I'm going to give you an example, One Piece, which again,
I was gonna say.
it's
Sometimes people name the arcs, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right, and it happens in between. I mean, Crunchyroll actually has done a good job of separating the seasons by the arcs, kind of. So they've done a pretty good job of doing that. But this is a lot more deliberate and explicit. Even the way they're promoting it, they're promoting it as an arc. They're not promoting it as the next season of the show. So it's actually very dramatic, very great. And I keep applauding UFO Table and Aniplex for that. Because if they keep doing it, I think it's going to be... It's one of those things, I think, that makes Demon Slayer stand out. And it makes the conversation very particular. Because it's not the same thing as saying, hey, did you watch season 3? As people saying, hey, the Swordsmith Village art, are you caught up? And everybody can talk about the same thing because it's titled and it's, so it's, I don't know. I keep saying that's one of the best things that we've done so far. That's why I keep saying that what I love the most about the show is not just the show, which I enjoy. I don't love it, but I enjoy it a lot. But it's all those behind the scenes, out of the box thinking that I've really enjoyed. Is there anything else, guys, you guys want to cover on this? Any other particular? Do you guys have a favorite moment of the season, of the arc?
I feel like, I don't know if it's my favorite moment, but it definitely, like, it put a smile on my face when we were talking about Inosuke being on the ceiling at the beginning of the season, just watching over Tandro while he was sleeping. That's just hilarious. That's
Yeah.
good. We need more Inosuke next season. He better be there. He better be there.
Isaac, favorite moment.
Well, it's the problem with the Nezuko, the fork road for Tanjiro.
The Nezuko kick.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm between that one.
that
Go
that
ahead.
one or Mitsuru being the substitute mommy slash sister to Nezuko.
Yeah, it was adorable. That was great. To me is the moment with Nezuko. I think that's one of the best storytelling points. But I do like the idea. Like I think my favorite trait, because a lot of people, I think Tanjiro is one of those characters that can easily fall into that Mary Sue category, like the nicest goody two shoes character you'll
It's
ever
called
have.
Gary. It's the Gary Sue if it's male, if Mary Sue if it's a female.
I don't know the internet, but I appreciate the correction. Um, but one of the things that I love about Tanjiro is that he has that mumbling Izuku Midoriya kind of quality where he overthinks everything so much and he analyzes things to a degree so much that he figures stuff out. And I love that the writing is so strong that he literally figures stuff out. Like he's not an idiot. He observes everything. He uses his brain and that's how he figures stuff out. And the fact that the moment where he is able to reverse engineer thunder breathing makes all the sense in the world. It doesn't feel like a leap. Like to me, that was one of the most satisfactory moments in all of Demon Slayer, I would say.
For a
Because
minute, I thought we were gonna have an Avatar thing where he learned another element. I was about to be like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Oh no, he just did like a fire flash." I'm like, "Okay,
right. Because he adapted it to himself. Like he took
right, yeah,
the bases, which is what Deku does all the time, especially now that he has he's actively using the other
She
quirks of
hasn't
All
read
for
the
One.
manga.
One
Mhm.
for All. She's seen season 6. He's
Yeah.
seen Power Ranger Deku.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I
Sorry
know,
for
but
any.
you. I
No,
know, but you
I am
can.
not gonna say. I'm not gonna say that, Isaac. I know that's manga only. It's okay. I'm not gonna break this young lady's dream.
Well, someone
Spoilers,
needs to
Deku
stop
dies.
you just in case.
Of course.
Yeah.
So thank you. You're like the weird robot from Minority Report. Before the crime
Yeah.
occurs, you just kick ass.
Yes, I know.
No
But yeah,
spoilers.
that the whole thunder breathing thing I think was great. It was
Yeah, that was cool.
great, and the way he was super quick, the way that he was able to do it more than once, and the idea that that's going to be something that we're going to see him keep doing. Like the reason he survives is not because he's the strongest, because in the battlefield he's one of he's one of the smartest. So I like that combination of smart talent that you see with Tanjiro, and I think that's pretty awesome. So that was awesome. That's cool. That's my favorite. But guys, I think we've done it. We've talked about the Swordsmith. AJ, don't do it. Don't do it, bro.
AJ, I don't know where you live, but I'll find out.
So we've done the thing, guys. I think we've talked. We've given our thoughts. We've enjoyed this season. I'm going to be honest. I think it's safe to say now, like you mentioned before, I think the strongest season is the strongest arc is still Entertainment District, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that was one that went up and ended in a blast.
Yeah,
This one had the high moments in the middle of it, and then it kind of just weighed down.
Mm-hmm.
I would even say that to a degree, the final Demon Slash on the upper fourth didn't have as much weight as Tanjiro's victory on the upper sixth, which is was
Yeah.
it the lower sixth, which is the one for the ending of season 1. Like
Yes.
that
Mhm.
one to me was a lot, a lot more strength to it. But we talked the season. Anything else, guys? You guys going to talk about, or are we getting out of here?
We will, AJ. We will indeed. So don't make me mad before then. Don't do it. But no, yeah, this was still a really fun season. If you just so happen to be watching this and you haven't watched this season for some reason, definitely go back and watch it. Critiques aside, this has still been really fun.
Yes.
It's been one of the hot anime of the spring. And I feel like this season has, similar to season 2, actually probably more than season 2, made me very curious about what the next arc will be, and what is going to be shared in that arc, because I think this arc felt a little bit more like setup than it's
Especially the
excitement
ending.
almost.
Especially the
Yeah,
ending.
yeah.
Yeah, like the ending felt very like like
Mhm.
it's happening now. Like yeah.
Like, I know something you don't. So
What do you know?
I waited to find. Sorry, Brandon. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've done the thing, guys. If you love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, click on that like button, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. I don't know where the bell is. It's somewhere here. And keep watching anime with us. If there's any anime that you guys want us to cover, let us know in the comment section below. Find us on Twitter at the Amateur Otaku Pod, or at the Amateur Otaku on Twitter. We got a bunch of stuff coming. We got an episode on Kageguri. We got an episode on My Home Hero. We got an episode on Hell's Paradise, and a bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned for more episodes of the Amateur Otaku Podcast. And you guys stay awesome. Keep watching anime, and let us know your thoughts on the Swordsmith Village arc of Demon Slayer. Have it awesome, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Påskegg.
If